Here's the news for March 3rd. The Pentagon has released the names of 4 of the 6 service members who have been killed in the Iran war, saying they died in a drone strike in Kuwait. Killed were Captain Cody Cork, 45, of Florida, Sergeant First Class Noah Tegens, 42, of Nebraska, Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore, 39, of Minnesota, and Specialist Declan Cody, 20, of Iowa. The remains of 2 others have also been located, though their identifications have not yet been released. Sources say that there was a makeshift command center that these people were in, and it was struck by a direct hit at the center of a building, which they described as a triple-wide trailer with office space. The attack came very quickly with no warning or sirens to alert the troops to evacuate or get to a bunker. The thing that's baffling right now, the list goes on, but we still have Americans that haven't been evacuated. This report that you have over 100 American troops who have filed complaints because their commanders are telling them that President Donald Trump was anointed by Jesus Christ, and they're fighting so that they can have Armageddon and Jesus can come back and save the real Christians. What the hell is going on? I don't know how anybody can support this. And for those people who are saying, well, we didn't start it, Iran did. President Trump said today, we started it.
They were getting ready to attack Israel. They were getting ready to attack others. You're seeing that right now. And a lot of those missiles that are hitting in, those are stationary. Those were aimed there for a long period of time at these other countries. So I think I was right about that. We attacked first. And if we didn't, it could have been, look, we're really decimating them. They're being decimated.
He literally said, we fired first. The whole thing blows my mind that people will say that this is a good thing. That they'll say that this has nothing to do with the Epstein files. I mean, you got to be out of your fucking mind, excuse me. And I know my mom hates it when I say that word, but you have to be out of your fucking mind. A U.S. State Department employee killed a woman and her dog in a road rage stabbing attack. Did you see this video? This was in Virginia. So apparently this guy, Jared Lamato, 32, got into a minor traffic collision with a woman named Michelle Adams and a few of her friends. And somehow he pulls out a knife that was used in Friday the 13th. This is the size of this knife that he had, a butcher knife, and just starts stabbing these women. And witnesses say it escalated really quickly. It went from 0 to 100 immediately. And so when a trooper arrived at the scene, Lamato confronted him with the knife. The officer opened fire in self-defense. Lamato was taken to the hospital where he later died. This story is controversial. A Georgia father has been found guilty on all 29 counts after his son allegedly murdered 4 people in a high school shooting. And we say allegedly, but there's effing video. I know we still have to say innocent until proven guilty. There's video from the high school of his kid shooting students at this school. Colt Gray is his name. He was 14 years old. His dad, Colin Gray, learned his fate in court today. It took jurors less than 2 hours to determine that he was responsible for this deadly rampage. Now, what happened was Colt Gray went to school. He had this AR-15 style rifle that his father had given to him as a Christmas gift. And this is why his dad needed to be held accountable. Because a year before, the school called the dad and was like, hey, we're a little worried. Colt wrote in a book that he's, wants to shoot up the school. And his dad said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe it was my son. He's going to be in big trouble if he did that, but I'll make sure he doesn't have any guns. He's not near any guns. And then he bought him one for Christmas. The other thing about this story, That is so insane. So this Colt walked into a bathroom. There's video of him going into the bathroom with his backpack. He texted his mother and said, "I'm sorry, Mom." She became alarmed and called the school because obviously they knew that this kid struggled with mental health. Resource officers went into the bathroom and escorted the wrong student out of the bathroom, leaving this kid Colt in the bathroom with his gun in the backpack. I don't even understand. Colt will be tried as an adult. He's facing 55 charges, including 4 counts of felony murder. Prosecutors said that his father ignored the warning signs, and apparently the jury agreed. I mean, there comes a point where we have to start holding these parents responsible when they are giving their children these weapons, or their children who are mentally ill have access to these weapons. Law enforcement is giving an update on the Nancy Guthrie case. I saw the video of Savannah Guthrie and her sister's husband going down the driveway up to this makeshift memorial that is outside Nancy Guthrie's house. And it is just so sad. Apparently they got a tip that there was a body. Her body was in a desert somewhere. They went to the desert, but they couldn't find the body. But now apparently the sheriff absolutely believes they're getting closer to solving the case. Yet a week ago, he was saying it could take a year to solve the case. I don't know what the hell is going on. Something is very off by this. And let me tell you, back in the day, I would not have believed in conspiracy theories. But the way this world is going now, I wouldn't doubt who's involved. I wouldn't doubt. You have Savannah Guthrie was interviewing Epstein victims. Her mom goes missing for what reason? Why would someone take her mom? It makes no sense. One key clue in the case has been the backpack that the suspect was wearing when he was captured on that video outside Nancy Guthrie's home. It's a black Ozark Trail hiker pack. It's a backpack that is exclusively sold at Walmart. So they're searching through all the records around Tucson to see who may have purchased this backpack. Nancy Guthrie has been missing since January 31st. I cannot believe that we can't find someone's mom, their grandma, that we have no idea who took her. It is crazy, these stories where people just up and vanish. There was a case in Gates, New York, where this young man, his name's Brian Sullivan, and he went missing. I remember covering this story when I worked at a TV station, and he went to Burger King, and then no one ever saw him again. His car was still parked outside Burger King. They've never found him. It blows my mind. But that was like before we all had cameras everywhere. Southwest Airlines' new boarding process is pissing customers off. And I can tell you, I flew Southwest when I went to visit my son in Savannah. I think when they had the seating where it was, first come, first serve was the best thing because you know what? It was affordable. Do you know what they do now? Everything's a la carte upgrade. You want a ticket? Okay, we'll give you a ticket, but we don't know where you're going to be sitting. Okay. You want to upgrade to have a little more legroom or a specific seat. Maybe you need an aisle or you want a window. That's going to cost you more. Oh, you want even more legroom? That's going to cost you more. You want a checked bag? That's going to cost you more. It's a bunch of horse shit. Quite frankly, you're better off flying a different airline at this point. Southwest isn't any cheaper. In fact, I found it to be more expensive than, say, going to Priceline and getting a flight that way. The other problem is that people were paying extra to get certain seats, but they weren't in an earlier boarding group. So by the time these people who paid extra to get this extra legroom, they didn't have anywhere to put their bags. But so they're saying they're adding larger overhead bins and they're going to mark them with decals that say, this is reserved for customers who paid for extra legroom. You think that's going to go over well? No. That's going to cause more brawls on these planes. And finally, dictionary.com just added a Taylor Swift inspired word. Dictionary.com's latest word is Swiftie. Of course, the term is a fan of Taylor Swift. There's a term already in the dictionary, Bayhive for Beyonce fans, Trekkie for fans of Star Trek. Taylor Swift actually trademarked the word in 2017, securing full registration in 2022 for bags, totes, and other merch. She is a smart businesswoman. I actually went to her Eras tour. I took my daughter. Someone that I know bought us tickets, and I'm not going to lie, they were very expensive. I didn't pay for them. This show was incredible. It was just a theater production. It was amazing. My daughter thought it was the best part, but we were in Boston, and it was the rain show, they called it. It did not stop raining once during the show. And if I was a teenager, I wouldn't have minded, but I'm not. And so I was freezing my ass off. So this year's update to the dictionary also includes 1,500 entries, including nanoplastic and glamazon. Well, that is the news for today.